Well, this year's stewardship campaign is entitled Owners, Loaners, and Groaners. And what's interesting about that title is that those are phrases that describe who we are not to be as good stewards of God's church. Right? We don't own the church, it belongs to God. But we have been given a stewardship responsibility to be good managers, good caretakers of that which has been entrusted to us, right? And we can never pay a debt back to God to earn his love. And so we don't give of our time or of our talents or of our finances, our resources, in order to try to win God's favor, to earn God's favor. No, it's not a debt that has to be repaid. The gospel is that Jesus has paid all of that debt, and that we are given God's grace. And so because of that, we are not to be groaners when it comes to the fact that we are called to serve the church with our prayers, our presence, our gifts, our service, and our witness. So for the next 3 weeks, we'll be seeing and hearing a few testimonies from some folks in the church and from your pastor concerning these aspects of owners, loaners, and groaners. Let me start this first week with a story that takes me all the way back to Little League days. I was about 12 years old, and I was chosen to be part of the Little League All-Stars. I was not a starter, but I was on the team. And I remember when we were chosen, we were called out in front of all the parents, and we ran out onto the field, and we were supposed to have a little practice to show off for the parents on that first day when we found out that we had made the team. And so I was in the outfield shagging some fly balls, and I had two friends there, both who became pretty famous in the world of sports. One became a National Hockey League player, and the other became a college and pro football coach. And those two friends were egging me on out in the field, and when a fly ball was coming to me for me to show off for the folks in the stands, the ball was sailing over my head and was going to sail over the fence, but they were telling me, "You've got plenty of room, Dave, plenty of room. You're going to get this ball." And so when I went up for it to catch it, it sailed over the fence, but I didn't. I ended up landing on top of the fence and getting caught in my pants on top of the fence. And it was a very embarrassing moment where they had to come out and kind of get me off the fence. During those practices that led up to the big game, another really good friend of mine was hit by a pitch. He had broken his arm, but we didn't know it. We thought maybe we should check it out because as we continued to practice, he could not swing and hit the ball. And so his folks wanted him to be able to be in the starting lineup, and the manager thought that we should get his arm checked. The parents were not the owners of the team. No matter what they wanted their son to do or to be, the manager had to make a decision and got my friend's arm checked out. And he actually had a broken arm from being hit by the pitch. And so he couldn't start the big game. So a second stringer had to come in, and it was the second stringer who got the big hit and won the game and moved us forward in our way to Williamsport Little League World Series. We lost the last game, but it was an interesting time when the manager had to make the right decisions to allow the team to win. Right? We are not the owners of the church. We are to be good managers so that we can win this big game.
I know that you have a garden. How big of a garden do you have?
About 2,000 square feet.
Okay. And what do you do with the produce that you get from that garden?
Well, we enjoy our produce. However, we like to share it. So we always plant more than we know we'll need. We have friends and neighbors that we like to share it with, and one of our joys is seeing the smile on their face when they see a bag of tomatoes or some eggplant or zucchini. So
Isn't that special? A garden that keeps on giving.
Yes.
Okay. And what did you donate to the sanctuary?
That was to the generosity of the not congregation but family church, and that was in the memory of our son Nick.
Right.
And those are the two plaques, and one on each side of the altar, and the candles. the liquid.
Liquid candles.
So we
And-
enjoy that every time, and we
We
think of
come.
our son and grandson, who we also lost 9 months later. We think of them every time we sit in the sanctuary and look up at the candles and the plaques.
And it's because of the church family that they're there. So it's really,
But it's another gift that keeps on giving.
that's correct.
And isn't that the truth about giving to the church? Once you give to the church, it just keeps on giving.
That's very true. It, you know, the more you give in any respect, the more you get back.
That's right.
One way or another, it always comes back.
Why do you support York Church?
Well, first of all, I really feel that we all have a responsibility to our family. And then, of course, the church family is also included. And then it goes on into the community. And this is one church that they walk the talk. They just don't talk about helping others and doing things or what should we do, but we actually do it. And it does so many different things. And it starts from within the church family, and it goes out into the community, and it goes out everywhere. We have so many projects going, you know, through the missions and through giving and through the support and through the Stephen Ministry, through a food pantry. We just do.
So many opportunities for us to contribute and give, and for the church family to be supportive of all those areas. Things that we didn't have in the past before we joined York Church. Some of that, but it's so much more opportunity here to do those kind of things.
Well, thank you very much.